Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, the not-so-serious business podcast powered by D2CX. I'm Zoe Khan, and I'm here to celebrate our wins, vent about our challenges, and bring the D2C and e-commerce community together.
Welcome back to another episode of Chew on This. Today, we're bringing you a really special episode. Actually, the first time we're ever doing this, a collaboration episode with Let's Laugh About It podcast. And we have the amazing ladies from Let's Laugh About It podcast. So Jackie and Zoe, I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves and tell the audience what we're doing here together.
Yeah, we actually wanted to, Let's Laugh About It is a podcast. It's a not so serious business podcast, and we talk about laughable moments in business and then kind of like dive into there and really just kind of bringing some light into the podcast world and business world because it's really like not that serious. You don't have to wear a suit and tie on LinkedIn anymore.
Hoodies only.
Only hoodies. So yeah, I'm excited to do this joint episode and also be on Chew on This because we're listeners and really big supporters of Ron and everything he does. I'm the founder of Inevitable Agency, a CX agency that I accidentally started. And actually, it would be kind of cool to talk about it today because I always tell people that like I owe my like life to Ron because of the kind of the start of it. So we can get into that after. And then actually, I was like thinking that maybe it's funny if you try to intro Jackie because
it's very confusing.
It's so confusing. And I think that Ron is like probably like has the best kind of understanding of Jackie and like the world of like Twitter.
Yeah. So I think that's actually pretty. Yeah, who is Jackie, right? I think I don't think anyone will ever know, right? It's almost like this.
I'm not
like
sure
this,
that I know.
Yeah, it's like this Batman, Batwoman kind of look and feel to it. But I think it's funny because I think Jackie, one part of her split personality is like she's like the person you see on the show Suits and like is a lawyer and is like this, you know, has this like crazy background that we probably all don't even understand. Mm-hmm. And then like on the flip side, has this like super roommate personality, which is like, you know, like the ability to be that supportive friend that can turn into a business partner that can probably fly across the country for you, drive across the country for you, come to you at different conferences because, you know, you want the right person next to you. And really, I think the perfect definition of what you want a companion to be, with the ability to also be professional, which is really rare. So I think that's the role.
That was so good.
That was so good.
That just boosted my ego so much. Anytime we have to do intros, I like never know how to introduce myself because I feel like I started off as always like part-time assistant because we were living together, and now I'm like literally traveling across the country with Zoe all the time. And like technically I'm like not even like it's really just Let's Laugh About It with Zoe Khan. But like I'm here every time.
I'm always like, wait, Jackie, do you want to be on it? Like,
I'm on it.
I want you.
Yeah, you should just stay on it.
Yeah, I'm just part of it at this point.
Jackie started working for the agency again accidentally. I don't do anything like planned. It's just I like trip and fall. I'm like, oh, this is my life.
It's the best. It's the best way to.
But Jackie started working for the agency when I just was like stressed out and I like wasn't actually. Literally, I needed help like opening up my mail, and Jackie's like, because we were roommates, and Jackie was like, you have this like stack of like mail, and I'm pretty sure there's some like medical bills. Like, don't you want to handle that?
Yeah, literally, like Zoe was just like too overstimulated to do like the little tasks, and I was like, I could do those for you, and then it turned into like handling big tasks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny with the lawyer side too. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, so Jackie actually. She sits as like HR chief of staff for the agency.
Yeah.
And we were having some just like HRE, like a meeting with like our whole team, and it was like HRE. And then I was like, does our team know that Jackie's a lawyer?
I know,
and
you like randomly said that.
Guys, you know, like Jackie's a lawyer. Like because you were being like very lawyer-esque on the call.
Yeah, careful with my words.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then she's like telling everyone like to be like careful and like don't do this, but do this. Like, and it was like, I'm like, wait, they don't even know.
Though.
Yeah.
You need that.
I have had people ask me, like some people, like some of the people that we've like onboarded, like, what does the JD mean at the end of your name? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have a
Just a little law degree, right?
And then before we move on, I'd love to kind of tell a story about like how we met.
Yeah.
So I was working at Chomps at the time, the healthy meat sticks, and I was kind of just like head down, do my job, and I got like an email saying I was submitted to be in this like a virtual award show.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, I had no idea that like this whole like business influencer thing was a thing. Maybe I kind of like saw it a little bit. I remember like Eli Weiss maybe a couple months before that was like, you have to get on Twitter. And I'm like, that's weird. And so I think I like made a Twitter, but then I was like, I'm still confused, like whatever. And I like went through like Eli's following or like followers. I'm like, who do I even follow? I don't know. Who, like, what? I'm not sure. So then I showed up to this virtual thing, and I was just, I'm not even prepared. I was just like, there's no way I'm going to, like, win this award. I'll show up. I even think I almost, like, didn't show up because I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
But it actually ended up, I won this award, CX Operator of the Year, and Ron was the one presenting it.
That's right.
And I think that was the first time that I had even like known you were a thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't follow the whole thing.
You were a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I knew about you a lot because secretly I always wanted to see like if I could ever afford to hire her. And I would like always like make like slight remarks about like, hey, would you ever like consider like I'm looking for someone like you? And she's just like, yeah, I'm really happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine. But yeah, she was like the one person that's just known for her craft. And there's very few people that are known for their crafts, right? And I think Zoe has like really crushed that.
Yeah. No, yeah, Zoe's impressive. It's funny because me and Zoe have known each other since we were like 10, like babies. So sometimes
I'm
like,
that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes I'm like, in a weird way, I'm like, why do people care so much about Zoe?
No, Jackie, like, 'cause, you know,
like, why are there so many people like
course,
emailing
you, like,
her?
have a different perspective of that person. Yeah.
No, you get this too, where like you're so busy, but then you're also so good at networking, and you always want to be like available to network and talk to people, and but there's a lot of people just like asking for your time.
Yeah.
And so Jackie sees it all, and she's sometimes she's like, I just like can't understand or like wrap my head around like why people want to talk to you.
Yeah, literally, like I'm confused.
That is awesome.
No, but Zoe is impressive. It's just like funny when you have like that perspective of like, I also knew you when you were like 16 and drank for the first time.
Yeah.
Like that's how I picture you sometimes.
Yeah. Well, after that award, Ron hit me up and he's like, do you do consulting? And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I'll hop on a call with you. And we sat and we went through like the experience of Avi for like an hour.
Yep.
And it was just like fun for me. I was just like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. And like, oh, I understand like that part from like my experience here.
Yeah.
And, it was just really fun for me. I remember like just being like, oh, like, and the hour went by so fast.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, wow, we're doing everything wrong.
No. But then afterwards, you were so kind and you tweeted like something. I think something like that. It was like Zoe Khan just like sat me down for an hour, and I like want to redo the entire
everything.
business.
Yeah.
Which was actually so interesting because I didn't think that like I didn't look at when we were on the call. I didn't think like, oh yeah, you should just burn it down and start over. Like
no,
it was absolutely not that.
Yeah.
But when like as a founder, you're so like particular about your business and you want everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that founders like because it's your baby and like because you want it to be perfect. Sometimes it's hard for people to reach out and ask for like CX help because it's almost like it's like going to like therapy and you're like, I don't need therapy, but like everyone needs therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard.
Yeah, there's like this feeling of like, oh, that's like feels taboo. Or it's like, oh, it feels like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. And it's like, it's all just like made up stuff that people have put in their minds. But
Yeah. And then after that tweet, people were like flooded my DMs like, hey, can you look at my inbox and whatever. And I just was like so confused. I didn't understand the like consulting agency, anything, that world. And so I just tried to help as many people as I could for free because I'm like, I also, I don't know if you knew this, but when we were talking, I didn't think that I was good at my job. Like, I thought that I was just, I was always doing my best and like wanting to improve and like figuring out like what I could do better, but I didn't think that I like knew what I was doing. You didn't know
like the fact that the impact you created is also seen by others from the outside.
Yeah. So you also really helped me with like my imposter syndrome, because I was like, wow, like Ron is obviously like known and he's good at his job and or his building businesses, but like I was able to help him. Like, that's pretty cool.
No, I think it's super special, especially when you have moments where it's like we're also like deep into working. I think it's also why I like going to these networking events sometimes, because like you don't realize that there are people who want to meet you, and even people who don't know you, when you talk about like some of the stuff you do, it makes you realize the stuff you're doing.
100%.
Anyways, like Ron was definitely one of the big factors in my career, because after that it transformed into like people just like sending me money for my time, and I would like be like, oh my God, that's way too much. Like I need to send it back. And it even just like helped me because I don't know what I'm worth or what to charge. And so it was cool to see people be like, here's this much money for like your time. Like this is how much I feel like that time was worth. Yeah. And that's like kind of how I like set my like consulting rates.
That's incredible.
And then eventually it like transformed into people being like, this is great that, and you did the same thing. It's like, this is great, thanks for telling me this, but can you just like do it for me? And I was like, no, I have a full-time job. And so I said no a lot. And I was so happy at Chomps. Like Chomps was like challenging and fun and cool. And they're like, who doesn't want to be selling meat sticks?
Seriously.
So that's how like the agency developed, because then I hired help that I like trusted and that I could train and mentor, and then it ran by itself for like 2 years, and just recently, as of like 2 weeks ago, I don't know when this episode will come out, but as of 2025, I'm full-time agency now.
Congratulations.
And like, really exciting. Thank you. But I'm like, I want to thank you for like kickstarting that, really.
Yeah.
No, but it's incredible to see how fast you've moved through it and the impact you're creating. And I saw your journey to Philippines. Like you've not just been doing it for yourself, but like when you're doing it to build it for others and with others, I think that's the part that's really cool.
Yeah.
I see this in Ron as well, where it's not about like charging people and like making a bunch of money, but like being willing to like help others. And you're so generous with your time as well. Like I know Ron's a busy person, but he'll like, I'm really bad with like getting back to my texts and stuff, and like Ron's like always seems to be on top of it, and like I don't know, maybe it's just like what I see, but it just like seems like you're very just generous with your time, even though you have so much going on. And it's like you get it. It's like nice to help.
No, it is. You either have it or you don't, right? Like I think all of us have this intrinsic feeling of just like at the end of the day, just like be good and do well, and like you have to prioritize things and then you have to adjust things. But like if you just lead with like, hey, I just want to do good, I think that shines through for all of us.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we get too far into it, because I think we can like talk forever. I always think that when Ron and I are in a conversation, I'm like, this could be a podcast, just like us chatting.
Like last week.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask, do you have any memorable or like notable, laughable moments in your career, just even from like outside of Avi or within Avi?
Yeah, I mean, it happens every day still. On a personal note, for the first few years, and like my dad is like a huge like factor to like where I am at today. But like my mom's like been a stay-at-home mom. She's the most loving mom. Like just always wants everyone to be happy and good. But she's not like super educated. She doesn't really speak perfect English. So for the first few years of starting Obvi, I could never explain to her what a supplement company is. So I just told her I work at GNC. Like I just like funny. That was the only like way to relate to her, which was like, because she knew GNC sells supplements. So it's like, we work at GNC. And so I think that was like really interesting, because it's like it puts into perspective, like now I can actually explain to her, and she's grown with the business, which is really cool. when we came up with the name Chew on This, we thought it was like really clever because it's like sound bites to chew on.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna be compact information you can chew on and digest. And some podcasts are too long and whatnot. And when we sent out the first time, like the first rendition of the logo and the name, we sent it in random group chats and different people, and we got a lot of people like making pretty funny remarks of like how suggestive that is.
Yeah.
And it was like we got to a point where we had to make a decision, like, are we sticking with this?
Yeah.
Or do we completely change it? And we felt we were too far, even though we weren't. And till this day, we still get comments from our newsletter or people on the pod or whatever saying like, it's a very interesting name. And
That's
that too
so
with
funny
three guys on the pod being the hosts.
I like did not even think of it as suggestive. But I guess,
Well,
but
good.
I love the name.
We were expecting that everyone doesn't have their mind in,
Right.
Better.
Well, there's something to it though, like, cause you know how the whole on the other is just like extreme is like no PR or no PR is bad PR kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so anything you can get to like get or do to get
at least like make someone
it's
stop.
Like,
I
like,
mean,
what
even
does that
something, I think
mean?
even just like for you guys too, right? Like, let's laugh about it. It's like, well, what are we laughing about?
Yeah.
Like you're making people
Who
think
knows?
about like what the context is. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of these moments where we realize things like afterwards and are like, all right, it's a bit too late.
Too far in.
Yeah.
When you were telling your mom that you're at GNC, was because before Avi, you had a marketing agency.
Yeah.
And were you ever actually like hanging out in GNC for any of that?
We actually were, because we had the products in GNC.
Right.
And so that was like her correlation to what I did was I worked like in GNC, around GNC. We even visited GNC for a couple of visits. So like it was like that was
that
the life.
Makes sense. Yeah. I was thinking that because I actually used to manage GNCs.
Right. That's right.
So
I remember that.
I did work. You're being an imposter. Like
Yeah,
you're
yes,
like a wannabe.
yes.
You're like telling your mom.
That I want to be like Zoe.
I actually work at GNC. But I had like the privilege to work at, I don't know if you like know the GNC, whatever, the like drama.
Yeah.
Not drama, but like
GNC
the GNC
There's a lot of drama too.
I worked at Camp Lejeune, which is the #1 military-based GNC.
I didn't know that.
Which,
Okay.
and I think it ended up being like, I don't know, top 5 GNCs in the country.
Wow.
But it's because it was in like a really big PX, like the military like mall, and on a big military base. And so we always had like 5 people working on the floor, except for like, opening and closing, it's a little bit slower. But I learned so much about supplements and like, I had to, because I was like this little like blonde girl at the time. And these like big buff Marines were coming in like looking for testosterone boosters, and they're like, what do you know about testosterone, you little girl? And so I really had to know my shit.
Yeah.
And then also like I got to not only like learn on my own, but I got to like listen to the other people on the floor, and then the all of the supplement companies wanted to come visit our store, like the brand side, and teach us about their supplements too, because the more we knew about their supplements, the more we could sell them. And there's that like part of like, building personal connections that you feel like connected to the brand. But yeah, we always also had like the supplement, the Rons in.
Yeah. That's super interesting. I didn't know you were at that location. That's cool.
Yeah, wow. It was really. I learned so much. I was like so addicted to learning. Like every time we got a new product in, I would like turn it around and like look at all the ingredients. Like, do I know this one and what it does? And, like, that's a new ingredient. Like, and then I'd go down like, and sometimes I would legit call the companies and be like, what does this ingredient mean? And that actually, I brought that experience brand side, because I'm the only one who like really does that. But like, but I expected to work at Ghost and be like, okay, I need to know, like people are going to call me and ask me what exactly
as if
this
you made
thing.
this product.
And so I like waited there for people to call me. I'm like, nope,
I'm ready.
How come nobody wants to know?
It's such a practical way to approach it. You were probably there for Performix days, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
The performance saves was like the peak. My manager was married to one of the performance reps as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Frankie. He was great. Yeah.
I remember the Matt Hesse days.
Matt Hesse. Yeah.
Wow.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Jackie's actually like a supplement girly. Jackie's really into the influencer side of not like Instagram influencers, but YouTubers.
YouTube influencers.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like,
So
yeah,
like
very.
David Dobrik and them?
No, actually, like the lifestyle vloggers.
Okay, cool.
So it's like, you know, they'll have like 200,000 YouTube followers, but their fan base is like so loyal.
And just talking about their daily.
Yeah, they kind of just do like, they'll do like weekly vlogs, daily vlogs. And I swear, like every product I buy for like any area of life is just something they talked about in their videos.
That's incredible.
It's so
yeah.
influential, and they make.
When do you watch it? Like it's just as pastime?
Yeah, I'll actually watch it a lot, like while I'm working,
Okay.
because it's kind of mindless.
Yeah. So you don't listen to it like on a car. You'll watch.
Yeah,
watch this.
I'll like put it on like the TV and just kind of like work and have it on, and like I don't know, it's like so influential, and they make so much money from their commission of like, you know, linking everything.
Of course. I always wondered like who's watching it, because
It's me.
Well, no, that's incredible, because it's like you look at what they're putting out, and it's like you have to either buy into them or don't. There's no like, oh, I'll watch it here and there. Like you're either invested in their life.
Totally. Like the people that I watch, I do not miss a video.
That's insane.
And it's interesting to see Jackie get influenced by things, because I'm like, you're getting got. It's cool because there are a lot of the things Jackie buys is from these YouTube vloggers.
Mm-hmm.
She not only like buys them because she's like, I want to try it, but like because the YouTube vloggers are like explaining like, I'm taking this because of that, and like I researched this, and like so Jackie always knows like exactly why, because like the influencers did
That's
it
impressive.
for her.
And as like a prime consumer, because I'll buy anything that I'm influenced by, I find the YouTube vlogs like the most influential to actually believe in a product from, because I'm watching them actually use it every day. Whereas like when you watch somebody like post it on their Instagram story, it's like you might have just like used that today.
That's right.
That's right. But if I'm watching somebody
what
use
about
it
TikTok?
every
So then
day,
you don't
TikTok
get
I'll also, because again, people will do like those you know, quick minute vlogs. And they'll use the same things like every day in their like morning routine. So that's why like I think that's why the YouTube vlogs like that.
No, that's why they say the creators there are some of the highest quality led creators, because it's actual people invested in it.
Yeah.
Do you guys work with any YouTubers?
I wish we did. We're so bad at influencers, celebrities, creators, all that whole space. And I think it's because like we were in this world of like, you have to pay to play and you have to make meta work.
Yeah.
So like till this day, like 92% of the people we acquire every day is coming from an ad.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not like, figuring out this organic piece. And that's why we're hyper dependent on this platform.
Yeah.
But we're also trying to diversify away.
Yeah. I will say it's probably hard. I mean, a lot of the influencers I watch like will actually be very transparent and talk about how a lot of these like YouTubers who have like millions of followers, like it's crazy how sometimes they'll get paid a bunch of money to promote a product and it does not convert. Like nobody really will buy it. But then the people I watch who have like, I mean, some of them have as low as like 80,000 followers, and they'll be like creating like so much revenue for the brand that because like they might not have as many followers, but like those 80,000 people are diehard.
Yeah, so
it's
true.
Crazy.
It's so true.
So I would imagine it's like hard brand side to like figure out like who is good to go with, like return on investment.
The other piece that I think it's pretty funny, because like now we've just like I think accepted is like we're 3 South Asian males running a collagen company for women that are primarily 35 to 50-year-olds in the Midwest. There is such a large disconnect, but not from like, oh, like we know what they want and product and we can like advertise to them. And we even go live in our community like every week. Like we're very open about the fact that like, hey guys, we know there's a disconnect here. So we're gonna try to bridge it. But there is another element of like being able to identify who should surround this brand and influence a brand. I'm not consuming female content.
Right.
So I'm not going to naturally think about like, oh, well, we should go get this creator, or we should go and talk to this person.
Yeah.
So if everything for us is let's get an agency, let's get a freelancer, and let her do it or let him do it, whoever it is. I think we've always had to rely on somebody else doing it. Whereas I've seen the brands that do influencer and celebrity the best is when they've inherently have that in the founder set.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. Well, I can give you a list of some
please.
YouTubers in that age
Please.
demographic, but also that age demographic does live on Facebook.
I know.
They live on Facebook.
That's why our Facebook community now is
Yeah.
115,000 women.
Wow.
It's like they live on Facebook.
They really do live on Facebook.
They love Facebook.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I still go to Facebook is
Yeah.
to just check that community.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah.
Someone who does like product seeding, and for like listeners who don't know what that is, it's basically you're sending product for free, and so a lot of times not even asking anything of your who you're sending it to, but it's just like product seeding, like get it in as many hands as you can. And we see that on like the YouTube is like,
I was gonna say, not to bring up YouTube again, but so many times they'll be like, this is not sponsored, but like I'm doing, like, since they're vlogging their day, they vlog themselves unboxing these like PR packages.
That's cool.
And they'll say like, not sponsored, but like, this looks so cute.
And then they're
just
like
their natural reaction.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And also a lot of times they are like, I'll let you know if I like it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And so it's a brand that I've been like watching do this so well is Comfort.
Yeah.
The hoodies.
I keep seeing Comfort.
It's like so impressive.
I mean, they run ads on like every platform too.
Yeah. But then like also so much, they do it so well where it's like also so much organic growth from products.
Yeah.
I swear they're on TikTok live 24/7.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm scrolling on TikTok,
crazy.
their live comes up. I'm like, do these
Really?
people sleep?
Yeah, it's
because it's also
crazy.
it's like this married couple, and it's always them. I'm like, they're not sleeping.
Yeah, they're not sleeping.
Interesting.
It's
I didn't
insane.
know that they were live all the time.
all the time.
That brand and Dad Gang, the hats.
Yeah.
So both of those brands, I cannot go to the airport without seeing like 3 people in a Comfort hoodie set and a bunch of like dads in a
Yeah. Bart was actually on our pod a couple months ago, and he just talks about like how they are so organic.
Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous. Like he has like Yankee players wearing his hats.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
like
it's so
they don't
cool.
even know what to do with that, and they're just like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then they just
cool.
move on with their day.
Yeah, there's that one girl who she's the like photographer for the I don't know sports well, like go sports. It's like a football team, and she like
It's like a football team.
It's one of those like teams they throw a ball and stuff. She sits at the like entrance and exit when they're coming in and out to take pictures of them, like the candid pictures.
Yeah.
But she'll like vlog herself talking to them and saying like, hey, how's your day? And like she has posted pictures and there's like football players in there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, it's insane.
But I think they do such a good mixture of like the different types of marketing, and so it just like complements each other. And I don't know if we'll have time to talk about it today, but I'd love to talk about like I'm starting a brand this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm trying to like think through this strategy because I do want to like diversify like the way we acquire customers.
Maybe talk about the brand you're thinking about, and if you want to maybe even say the category.
Yeah, so it's actually it's public right now. So Salamat Soul, it's a I guess the category would be electronic or decor. Trinkets maybe. It's so funny when I'm like trying to talk about it because I like barely like I know the concept and what I want to do with it, but it's so early stage that I'm in the stage of ordering samples to like find manufacturers and like even just the branding. I don't have like the branding set in stone. I just have like my Shopify store with my landing page at salamatsoul.com, so you can like sign up for when we launch and everything. But the premise of it is solar paneled things. I keep saying trinkets because I like, don't know what else to call it. And the proceeds will go to providing light to those in need. And right now we're going to start in the Philippines because you mentioned like that you saw my stuff about going to the Philippines. Spent 2 weeks there. Was really touched by the like people there and how kind and giving and just generous they are, but they like a lot of them have nothing. Like and one of the things that a lot of people don't have there is light. Like the sun goes down, you go to bed because there's no
electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so in electricity is a little bit like harder because like one of the things, so we'll probably start by just getting like literally solar panels that provide
smart.
light
Yeah.
and donating them to families in need. It'd be really cool to get the whole electricity, but even that is hard because there's like no infrastructure.
Yeah, that's a whole beast.
Yeah, that's yeah. You
So-
need Elon Musk there then.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the premise of it.
That's
and
really cool.
It's really like one selfish side of it, and this is like cool that you guys get to do this, is I want to be able to like build in public and like literally like like screen share my back end of Shopify and my tech because like it's mine and I can do whatever I want with it as long as I'm not showing like customer information. I'm so excited about that part. Oh, the marketing strategy though. I really want to try to make like good organic content and then put money behind the organic content that does well.
Yeah, I think when you get products into people's hands, especially organically, I think people are getting to a point of like there needs to be a wow factor or there needs to be a huge purpose.
Yeah.
There's no more of like, oh, like I got a collagen. Like they're like it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And so like I've seen like people who are doing the seeding strategy or even organic strategy, and it's like, are you able to either get wow or purpose? And I think if you get one of those or both, then that's where people are like, okay, I'm going to support this. And I really like, I think you have the ability to probably hit on both.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how you're designing like the products and stuff, but I think if you can hit a wow factor there, but you already have a purpose piece, I think that's going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool. It's kind of funny because Zoe has a lot of ideas, and I'm kind of like her handler, and
Are you the filter?
Yeah.
No, literally. Yesterday I had an idea.
Yeah.
Jackie's like, you don't have time for that. That's it. She's like, that's a great idea, but like we cannot act on it right now.
Yeah. Well, she had like this idea a few months like before even going to the Philippines. Like, what if I just sold trinkets, but like for no reason, like no use? She just was like little fairy gardens.
Specifically
Fairy gardens.
I want fairy gardens.
But I was like, that feels like a lot for like no real reason behind it. Like, I'm confused. Can we like please table this? Like, there's a lot going on. We barely have time to balance like everything you have going on.
Jackie, there's so much opportunity in the fairy space.
Yeah,
I'm like looking up like
literally what research have you done? Like, I was like, you have no idea why you're saying that.
What's the TAM?
Yeah. But then she went to the Philippines and she was like, okay, I'm still on the trinket fairy garden kick. But what if they're fairy gardens that have solar panels on them? So that then we can like have a purpose, send proceeds, whatever. I was like, now I can support the trinket idea. But when you first brought it to me, like, no.
Yeah.
And I've been ordering samples, and I really like the fairy garden aspect. I know that, like, I'm like so surprised too, because I'm like, it's so cute, and like people, I'm like telling people and they're just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm sure people will buy that. But I think it's more of like I grew up like spending a lot of time like outside. My mom always had like a butterfly garden and like the garden part and like outside, and just like there's like something about like mystical that's just like wholesome feeling.
No, yeah.
And like pretty, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I've always like kind of wanted like this like cute little fairy garden in my backyard and stuff. So it's funny because I'm like, doesn't everyone want one? But it's like, no, it's like there's a niche, but I'm finding out that I'm like, oh, people
there's a niche, but the niche is there. Like, my grandma would buy them.
That's great.
Yeah, like grandmas need things too.
No.
Yeah. Brittany, who is also at the agency, she went to the Philippines with me, and she it was literally a shower thought. I was like, I got out of the shower and I'm like, oh my God, Brittany, I know what, like, maybe we could do this to give back more, because it was right after we had done this
really cool
outreach program, and after we fed over like 500 people that like one day from just we raised money from like different tech companies and like just like micro donations as well, and we fed all these people, and we saw like the way that they were like living their day to day, and we were just like we're like, we need to do more. Because you can
for background too, for like the reason why you went to the Philippines is because we have a lot of agents who live there, and they work so hard for us. I feel like it's crazy too to like then go there and be like, oh my God, you're like working in the dark?
Yeah.
Literally,
and you're like doing such a good job.
Yeah, and we just had this like immense feeling of like we need to do more.
Something. Yeah.
And so like literally like after that I showered and I was like, oh, my fairy gardens can help this.
Would you go back there to like film like slew of organic content?
Yeah, it's cool because now, especially because we've gone there and understand like their want to help others, even with like they barely have anything. Like if you compare to like you look at your life here and then you go there, or they're just like so grateful to just have a job and stuff. But then they like take what the little they have and they give it to others in need.
Yeah.
And we're like, we just want to do more. So we decided start Salamat Soul. Like who knows how long it'll take to like even get enough money to like whatever. But also we're giving back up 1% of the agency revenue to these outreach programs.
That's awesome. Good for you guys. You can tell like I think the passion is what's going to carry the content, not like your strategies and stuff. Like strategies are important because it keeps consistency.
Yeah.
But you need passion.
100%.
That's super exciting. Are you guys are you planning to do it where it's like launch a bunch of different products, or is it like going to be one core product? How are you
trying to figure it out because it'll probably be a bunch of different, and then I think there's a big opportunity for like seasonal and gifting and stuff. Because
that's cool.
Then you're also going to need like a Christmas fairy garden and a Valentine's Day fairy.
That's
you know,
right. That's right.
Yeah,
and like
so many reasons why you need a fairy garden.
Many fairy
and then
gardens.
like you're going to need like new like dragons and mushrooms. You know, like so there's lots of opportunities.
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like you already have the full vision in your mind.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do just like anything solar panel.
Yeah.
So Brittany found these lanterns that are solar panel, but they when they light up, they have like designs. So that's like I'm not gonna.
Like stencils almost.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That shine onto the ground.
And so
cool.
like when they the design shines onto the ground from
that's
the light.
right. That's actually really smart.
So there's like flowers, and we can custom design them and stuff. And so there's like functional parts of it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like those will do well because the trinkets like they will like sit there and stuff. But that it's like you could like convince like your husband like we need lights for outside.
Yeah.
Let's get these fairy garden ones.
Yeah. You just have to convince your husband.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why I said that like that.
That's so funny.
No, that's awesome. That's really, really cool.
But to me right now, the design feels like hard because it's like, I'm really big also about being like conducive and like making it make sense. And like, I don't want it to just be like a Walmart looking.
These brand,
yeah, I feel that.
But I don't know how to make like a fairy garden and like a lantern sit next to each other on like a product page,
Yeah, I think it was actually the Chomps podcast with Guy Raz. I think it was about like how he had launched a product without actually even having inventory about it. And I feel like if you almost did that where it's like you almost launched, let's say you didn't order anything, but you got like all the concepts made or renders and whatnot, and you just launched the store as is. And I think what he said was like he took in the first 50 orders just to understand what if people liked it or not. And then you can always refund everyone, right? But I think like you're in an age now where like you have the ability to almost create something without even fully having it to almost understand if that's the right way to go instead of like, let me invest a bunch in this and then see if it works. And I feel like that world of like that culture is like, oh yeah, you know what? I can take some people and test it and almost have like a digital experience, but not the actual product experience yet.
No, I agree. I feel like with I feel like I always pronounce it wrong. Salamat Soul.
Salamat.
Salamat Soul.
Salamat. It takes a while. It took me and Brittany like a week and a half.
Salamat.
It means thank you in Tagalog.
That's cool.
And then Soul is son. So thank you, son.
Yeah. No, it's a super cute name. I'm always scared I'm like butchering it when I say it. I've noticed like this like beginning stages of like, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a point where like it gets expensive when you're like really ramping up, but like it's cool that like you can do all of this like testing and stuff and it's like not really costing anything. Because the other part of my piece with Zoe is I also am like her financial advisor. So when she's randomly like the first place my mind goes when she's randomly like, I want to start this business. I'm like, oh my God, like I have to run the numbers before you do that.
I feel that so much. And so many of our viewers too, like there's so many people who are like, they let passion also sometimes trump the ability to do it. And like you kind of need somebody in that corner that's like, hey, just cool.
Keep
great.
you level-headed.
This is great, but like,
Yeah.
let's think about all the layers that are needed here.
Yeah.
And then budget, you
Yeah.
know, like a little bit, because it's hard to budget passion.
Yeah.
Right. When you're passionate about something,
100%.
you're like, I'm going all in. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, wait.
And
like,
that is like, which is like, it's like Zoe's best quality, but it's also like why we balance each other so well. Because
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
like,
awesome.
I'm here to tell you that you have to chill out. Because she gets so excited, and like the thing about Zoe is like, she'll do it. So like,
yeah.
she's not kidding when she's like, I'm gonna start this business tomorrow. Like if I wasn't like maybe chill for a second, I feel like
Like I literally would, yeah.
tomorrow she'd call me. I just took out a business loan.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
all in.
Well, that's a great takeaway of making sure that you have somebody that's
Yeah.
kind of
No,
on your side of it,
literally.
watching
Yeah.
the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had one thing to leave the listeners with, whether it's from this episode or just in general, can be about anything, just something for them to go and chew on. What's that one advice?
This is so cliche, but literally just whatever you want to do it in some capacity, and you don't have to even, we were just talking about like get so passionate, but like you don't have to have full-time hours to try something that you want. Yeah. I used to think that I was scared to, even talk about the agency, that it's being built in the background, because I didn't want my full-time job to be like worried that I wasn't so focused on it and like all of this. And, but I looked at people like Ron and like Nick Shackelford, who are like doing so many things and so many things well. And I'm like, well, if they can do it, like, why can't I? And like, I can teach people how to do what I'm doing, and like, and learn, like use my time wisely and something that I'm having fun doing. It makes me sad that like I was ever doing something that I didn't want to do one day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the world is in that, where it's like, well, I need to pay the bills, and like this is what, this is just a job, and a job is just a job. But like you really truly can like do anything you want. Like anything is possible. It's just like getting out there and asking questions and figuring it out. And you won't regret it if you just like, whatever it is that you want to do, just like literally figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Well said.
That's very good. I'll kind of piggyback off that, and kind of like in the light of like, kind of like the way me and Zoe operate together. I think if you're like trying to do a lot of things and you want to make a lot of things happen, like lean on the people around you who want to help, get help. I feel like sometimes people, you probably even felt like this. I know you did, because we would have like honest conversations. Like sometimes it can feel like when you're starting something small, you like can't even afford to get help, but like you can always make things work. Once you get help, usually you can make more money because you can do more things. So lean on the people around you, get help if you need it. Don't burn yourself out, especially in the new year. I feel like people always want to do a million things when the new year starts, but don't burn yourself out. And also, it's okay if in the new year you want to relax for a second. I feel like some people feel like they're not allowed to. And I was like such an advocate for that at the beginning of this year. I was like, rest.
Yeah, and I needed the rest.
Yeah.
And everyone does. You come back more refreshed and everything. But.
Yeah, you don't have to go all engines, all bless. No, those are two excellent ones, and just I think you guys embody it really well too. I think from my end is like I think when I watch your guys' content, whether you're doing the Cybertruck piece or you're talking about what's going on with your home and the couch, and and if Jackie's visit, whatever it is, I feel like there is the format of expression. I feel like sometimes people feel like they have to express themselves a certain way, and it has to be like super polished and only show the good parts. And I think a testament to even, let's laugh about it. It's like sometimes it can be unpolished. Sometimes it can be some of the things that are like maybe embarrassing, but are actually not really embarrassing, because that word doesn't really even have a definition anymore.
I know. What even is that word?
Right? Because it's almost like, hey, it's almost funny to be funny, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you can find solace in like having a format of expression, I think it's super cool. I think even for me, I used to be like, oh, I can't post that because like I do obvi, and like if a customer sees it or this, that, and like now I'm just like, you know what? I just do whatever I want to post, and it's like typically about my kid, and like I just enjoy that. And like it used to be like I gotta post this like reel because the podcast just launched and this and that, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm even for me, I've never done content on my own. It's always been podcast setting or with somebody.
Yeah.
I just started doing content on my own, and I just started posting it, and like getting people who are just like, hey, this is cool. And so I think I just find your format of expression. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. No, I love that.
And do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect content's boring.
Yeah. Perfect content is boring. That's a great line.
It really is.
But chew on all of that.
Chew on all of that. Chew on that.
And let's laugh about it.
There we go.
Awesome.
You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch us in the next episode. And thank you for listening.